We have two wonderful speakers with us today. Anybody else want to share their experience that how they are working in their university? I mean, on the subject that we have discussed today. Anyone want to just jump in, please?
Yes, I would like to share.
Okay, please.
So, may I proceed?
Yeah, sure, please. We can hear you.
Okay.
And then we will go
Okay.
back to the professor. I think she also want to say something. But okay, you first, please.
Okay. It's me, Shamsun Nahar Khan from Dhaka, Bangladesh. So, I'm very excited to share that I started laboratory courses this week. So, this is the first time I am doing virtual laboratory, and really it is very interesting. So, there are a lot of things we can do in the virtual laboratory, and I felt that it has enormous time. So I can train the students in different ways, and I can gradually train them, teach them, and it's virtual laboratory class is very helpful for the students before going to the real time laboratory. And I guess that in the next time, even when we will be overcoming the COVID-19, even after that period, I would prefer to have the virtual laboratory for the preparation of the students going into the laboratory. So my always I think in a positive way every situation to take and adapt the situation, and train myself, learn myself first, and then also disseminate the knowledge among the students. So really there are a lot of things we can do, because I guess there are a lot of questions came out regarding the laboratory classes. So so at my department we decided to go for the virtual laboratory classes, and if we get the chance, then of course we will take the students in the real lab experiments. But there are a lot of virtual setups, experiments are available. We can make some videos, short videos, video clips, and all along with that we can have a very pictorial, diagrammatical presentation. Of course, the videos are more helpful, because then students can see the dynamics and the movements and the works. Different kinds of and animated picture can help, but the real-time video also helps. So there are a lot of e-sources, electronic sources are providing us a lot of informations and a lot of videos, images. So I think this is very helpful for the preliminary laboratory classes, and as well as probably hands-on experiments can be shown later on. So if the semester is 6 months duration of time, so probably we can go for first 3 months, 4 months for the virtual laboratories, and the students will learn all the principles, and they have already visualized all the things. So whenever we are taking the students to the real-time laboratories, it is going to be very fast, and the students learning procedures will be very fast. So this is my and thank you very much, Doc Sab, to give me the opportunity to share all these things with you. Thank you.
Oh, that is so beautiful. May I please ask to you that what type of lab was that? It's a biology, engineering, or what type of lab is it?
Okay. Currently, I am teaching I am teaching higher final year semester students pharmacy at the Department of Pharmacy. So but this time I am teaching, as well as I am teaching the just freshers who are at the first semester, and now I'm teaching physical pharmacy. I'm taking a laboratory PHR 101 for physical pharmacy laboratory. So. It's going very well, and I would like to share with you that even on for the final year semester theoretical courses also I'm taking lot of advantages of different virtual laboratories, because I'm teaching drug discovery and development, so I'm teaching combinatorial chemistry, and I'm teaching molecular simulation and dynamics and the docking studies. So really these are very helpful, and I find that it's very helpful to teach through this online. And I keep my students very busy with lot of as with the open book exams and creativity, so they are doing a lot of stuffs. And so I felt that's a different world, obviously, and we wish to get back to physical laboratory or physical classes very quick. But even though I'm enjoying and the students are enjoying, and that I already submitted grades this last month, and the students they did very well, and the assessment evaluation was very interesting. There is no complaint from the part of the students or faculty or the authorities or their guardians. So I feel that it is really going very well. So my policy is to take all the opportunities in a positive way and make them in a positive, to visualize them in a positive direction. Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyone else want to share the experience, please?
May I share my own experience?
Yes, please, please. I mean, that's what we are here, that we have to learn from the expert as well as, and you all are expert, basically. We live in a world like, I mean, we all are having a common problem, common enemy, and we have to conquer that one. Yes, please, Miss Lala.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is Laila Nader, a literature instructor in the English department at Kabul University. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my own experiences with you all. I think I'm a little lucky because the subject that I'm teaching is not much practical course, because English literature is a course, you know, that I always ask my students to read from this page to that, and itself, it needs much more creativity. In our university, most of the professors use different strategies in order to impart or help their students. For instance, we are using a WhatsApp group, we are using Google Classroom. Sometimes we make Zoom meetings with our students. In addition, we are using HELMS system in order to help our students learn better. And one of the challenges that I personally face with my students is my students were really motivated in face-to-face classes, but in online classes, they were not as motivated as they were in face-to-face classes. And it really bothers me, and I always thought about the ways how to motivate my students to be more productive and effective participants. That's why I use different strategies. For example, I use peer review. When I assign my students, for example, to read a novel and then write a short summary, I ask my students to work in pairs and read each other's papers and then provide a short summary. So it was a little interesting for the learners, because it was a good opportunity for the pair of students to learn each other's papers and learn from each other. So I think that in online teaching and learning, teachers have to be much more creative. And thank you so much for giving me the time. And if some other professors know some ways to motivate students to be more productive in online classes, so that would be great if I hear from the other professors. Thanks very much.
Thank you. We have Professor Julie. I mean, one thing I had to mention, Prof. I'm calling you from first name because your last name, Murza, and I were talking because I say it's a flower day or flower day. So, I mean, that's the reason, you know, I'm calling you all the time by Professor Julie. So please go ahead. It's your turn now.
I'm happy to talk again, but I did get one.
Bit high because we have a hearing. Yeah, please. Okay. Close to the mic if you can.
Right. Okay. And Dr. Julie is just fine. A lot of my students.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you. It's an easy one. Yeah.
It's very nice. Thank you, sir. I think that the issue of making our group smaller, always finding 2, 3 students, 4 students to work with, is one of our solutions. I think also to be very sensitive to our students, because some of them are shy, not to us, but to their peers. They don't want to look stupid, they don't want to make a mistake, and so they would rather be quiet. So having a regular group, maybe of 3 or 4 students, and each of them has a turn, that might be one of the solutions if we have breakout groups, so that they then are comfortable with each other And that kind of conversation then might be possible in the ordinary classroom online.
I think this is one of the beautiful suggestion, to be honest with you, because online classes, if there is a 30 student, everybody is listening to each other, and people might be shy that my language is not good, my question is not good. So, I mean, having a breakout session, that will be one of the best solution I believe in. So, I mean, what other colleagues think? So anybody want to say something? Dr. Shahzad?
Yes, Dr. Sab, I think this is the best option. And this option is available for online mainly. You can have many groups. I agree with Dr. Julie.
Okay. Anybody else want to say something?
One thing I want to ask from Dr.
Yes, please,
Nella,
please.
About her evaluation tools, because for scientific we are having experiences for evaluation, but how do she evaluate her students in English or social sciences? That's something I want to know.
Okay.
Is there?
Yeah, she is here. She is here.
I'm here. I think that's a personal issue for me, especially at the introductory level course. I'm not looking at grammar. I don't care about grammar. I do care if I can pick up that they understand something, if they can use a concept. The grammar will come. That's something that is a skill. It's not a question. The intelligence, the ability to recognize the issue, the ability to take it apart and to discuss it, that's the gem. So it's really in the advanced course maybe that you look at grammar, the way they construct the argument. But that's why I point out at the beginning that I have a way of writing a paper. I have a way of taking an exam, and no place does the student's opinion belong but in one place. I give them one place where they can put their own thoughts. Otherwise, they have to learn how to represent another person's ideas. They have to represent an application, not how they think or not how they feel, but they have to be true to the materials that they're dealing with. And I do give them one part in an exam, one part in a paper where they put their own ideas. But otherwise, no, I tend to be very lenient about English. I'm really looking for the student who is excited by the material and is eager to make sense of it and to move ahead with it. Yeah.
Thank you. So anybody else want to get in? Any topic, anything relevant to online teaching and learning, please?
Thank you. May I, please?
Yes.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Yes, Rania, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy to be with you today here. And this was a great session. Really interesting, got some good ideas. My problem is sometimes when you split the groups into subgroups, I'm talking, this is the best solution if you have a small class, maybe. But in my case, in my faculty, for example, in my institution, there's some classes with above 130 or 150 people, students in them. And in that case, I think this will be problematic because it will take almost the whole day for sharing some information with the students. It would be great if you can like highlight, how can you like do something like that? Or maybe we should stick with the online teaching for the same class. I mean, the number of the students, the huge number of students at the same time, but then again, there will be the problem of getting them involved. So maybe you can highlight something in this aspect about this thing. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Is that question for me?
Oh yeah, yes please.
Looks like everybody's asking questions.
Maybe it's for everybody.
Yes.
I'm just building up on your comment about our grouping the huge group into, I mean, you're subgrouping the students into smaller groups. In my case, I'm talking about preliminary year students where we have above 150 students at the same class, and that would be problematic if we try to like subgroup them. So I'm just bringing this to your attention that maybe this is a good solution for small classes, but then again, you should look forward to have a solution for classes larger than the one we're talking about here. Thank you so much.
Right. I think I tried to capture that when I said I first began teaching, very new, fresh teaching, and I had 150 students. So one of the things I did was actually what I would do now is to do a video of the presentation that I give to the entire class, so that would be online for students to visit, revisit, to use as they want. But I would also divide that class of 150 into units of no more than 20 students. And in each of those classes, you could do 20 minutes, a half hour each week with each of the smaller groups, sessions, then to review the material that you had on the video, and to get interactive, then to treat it like a small class. So you have both the large class and the small class.
So I think, I know we have a little controversy over here, but Dr. Rania, to be honest with you, I think like if you have a class of 150, I can bet you there are 10 to 15% students who may not be performing in a great way. I mean, if they are online, they will be just somebody don't want to talk. Some people are shy. Some have inherent, social issue in expressing themselves. So I think that is the suggestion for that one. But I think the future will tell us, because we are also learning this online teaching. Now this will be a norm for the future. Like one of our colleagues said, I think, in small group, the lab thing, if we can give a virtual lab first and then put them in the lab, they will be doing a better job. So and that is one of the benefit of online, virtual, or whatever we say. Okay, anybody else please want to come in?
I want to comment on this answer as well, if you allow.
Yes, please.
Actually, this idea of splitting class, Dr. Julie's idea, it's very nice. We are having Dr. Rania is having 150 students. So you can upload a video. It's like in our face-to-face classes, we were used to ask our students, what I have to teach in next lecture. I inform them, this was my practice, I inform them in advance that I will teach this lecture, this specific topic. So they come with some preparation. So it was more easy for them to learn in the class because they were having some know-how like this. During online classes, I think this idea is more viable. You upload a video for 150 students, they watch that video, they learn something, and then they will have some questions. They will have some ideas to share. And if you are having a group of 150 students to share ideas collectively, I think it will not be feasible. So you will have some, doctor said, you will have 20 students each, and every group of 20, you assign, for example, 20 minutes to each group. So it will be, I think, it will be more feasible, and it will have more impact on learning. Rest is like you said, we are also learning through this process, and time will tell whether our ideas are good or not. Thank you.
Thank you. It's because Stanford started a Stanford Center for Professional Development. I think it was in late 90s. So, and they were charging at that time. Stanford has a very high fee. So per credit fee, they used to charge the same to the people who were enrolling online as well as who were attending the university. So I took some courses over there also, and people were having a lot more issues, problems, they were complaining. But I mean, now look what, we are in a world where everybody is compelled to take online classes, professors are compelled to teach, and everybody is not ready for that one. So we all are learning, teachers are learning, students are learning. So this is a new norm that we are going into. So anybody else want to get in, please? Looks like everybody is tired. Yes, please.
I teach a course for proposal writing, and in that course, I give a kind of an excitement part. You know how you get excited about an idea, and then I ask them to write a question. Usually, I'll ask for maybe 3 questions that they would write about that topic, and they submit it to me. And when I've got them, then I can put them up, say in another class, and have the students say if it's a good idea, a good question or not. And then they use the materials which I've been teaching them or sharing with them to critique or to improve that question. So the student's name is not identified, but all the students who are looking at that question make comments about it, say what's wrong or what's good about it. And so it becomes a more personalized, experiential class. That might be useful for us.
Okay, anyone else? Like, I mean, I know it's so fascinating. You know what? It's a great honor for me to be in your company because I am learning a lot from you all. Because I will be starting a new university. It's a scale university in the country. And you all are teaching me skills that how the education will be in future. Anybody else want to say something, share their experience? I know Dr. Salim mentioned there is a listening problem he is having. My apology, actually, we all have a different net services. Someone might be listening better and someone might be having an issue. So anybody else want to get in to say something?
I want to add something.
Please, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Okay, I think class size is one important thing. Whenever you teach in face-to-face or online, in both cases, as for example, if I give a classroom lecture of 100 students, definitely the students of large benches cannot hear well, or they will not be so attentive like the first benches students. There may be also problem. But more important thing that I have experienced that how the teacher is prepared for the class, even it is online class or classroom lecture. As for example, if I do some slides, it's full of materials, but no picture, no video, something boring. Even the class size is only 1 student, he will be sleeping. So what I want to say, the preparation for class and the material, the content, this is the topic of our today's session, how to develop the content. This is more important. As for example, if my class size is 100 students, I only prepare for 10 slides that is written well, prepared well with photos, videos, and learning tools. That will not be, that should be interesting to the student. That will be more interesting. Even if class size is only 10 students, but my content and material is not so interesting and so boring, so everybody will be sleeping, or after a few minutes, they will not be interested. So that's my real experience, because I took class of 30 students, I took class of 70 students, even nearly 100 students, face-to-face education. My experience is like that. If it is interesting, class, there is no some disturbance or something. If the topic is students feel boring, so it will not be intense whenever it is online or offline. But definitely, when I teach the students of class size 30, what I do in my university, it is more attractive to me and for the student also, because I can go to the every student, ask them question. Definitely that is good, but it you do not expect that every time you will have 30 or 20, or because it's does not depend on you. It depends on the university and the course type and so many things. So we the teachers, we should have in mind that I may have a small class size or larger size, but I have to prepare for the class well. And when I make the presentation, where I prepare my content, I have to careful myself what things I am showing the students, and it should be definitely interesting to them. That's my comment.
Thanks, Prof. So you challenge us in a tough way this evening to us. So, I mean, now I think a teacher has to be an actor, not a teacher, because I mean, and that acting should change for every class. That is the scenario that is coming up. So, I mean, I hope, like, I mean, we all work together, and you are very right that it's the teacher responsibility to make tough thing interesting. And I know you all have a very precious time, but I want to share with you, I took a class because I got my doctoral degree from Drexel in Philadelphia, USA. And there was one professor, he used to teach us biophysics. Very fascinating guy. His stories were so good. He gave us a book of biophysics on the very first day. And he said, okay, this is the book, and your exam will be open book. Now I will be teaching, and on this day will be your mid, on this day it will be final, and you can bring this book, and you can bring any book, and you can ask me the question, any question you want, but the question that I will be asking you, you have to answer that one. And he was so, like, I mean, biophysics is one of the toughest subjects, but believe me, I mean, we all used to get fascinated and keep waiting for him when he will come and teach us. That is very well, I mean, the concept that is emerging, that we teachers have to be good also in a way, how we can fascinate students on the net, how we can make things interactive, intriguing. So all that will be the future challenge. So anybody else, please, want to share their acting story, because we are now in a very different world. Nobody want to?
Can I add little more on practical experience?
Sure. Don't make us anything else beside these actors. You know?
No. I just want to share my practical experience. I used to take the course of coastal engineering. It's deal with the sea wave, sea type, very complex equation, wave breaking. These are the things. But what I do for last few weeks, I prepare the slides with the photos and videos from the YouTube and other things, so that the student gets interest these complex things to get understand easily, and so that they don't feel boring in the class. So after the class, when I get the feedback from the students, after 40 minutes, everybody looks very lively, and they share experience that they enjoy the lecture. That's the thing I am saying, that even the class size is more, it could be interesting how to prepare the lecture material, how we interact during the class. Sometimes you can ask the question anytime to the student to make the class lively, so that both way interaction with the student and teacher. That's my experience of taking a very difficult course of coastal engineering. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And
hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm Samanthi from Sri Lanka. Actually, we also do online lectures, and because we had to close down the university due to this COVID-19 pandemic, and during that time, actually, our examination were planned, so we had to conduct examination as online exams. So anyway, successfully we completed all examinations, and I have a small issue because by considering certain technical issues, we know that students are coming from different areas and they are coming from different geographical locations in Sri Lanka, and they have certain technical issues. So by considering those issues, normally, for example, if a paper is a 2-hour paper, so what we did was we have given them additional hours. For example, nearly some papers, actually we have given them entire day for them to answer, because it will take time to download all papers, and even they can use a computer or the word processing software to type their answers and upload and all these things. By considering everything, we have given them additional hours. So due to that, actually we noticed that there are plagiarism. Even some of the students, they copied from their colleagues, and those issues were noticed during marking. So maybe this question is suitable for the next session, because we are going to discuss online assessment and all these things. But I would like to get from your opinion and how we could sort out this issue, because again we have exams. We are planning to have our exams for this semester as well. That is also online exam. So I would like to hear from you your experience. Okay, that is my concern. Thank you very much.
Any of our facilitator today? Professor Julie, you want to go? We can't hear you. You have to open your mic. You have to open your mic. We cannot hear you. Oh, open your mic. Your mic is blocked.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's a technology.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much for this question. It's a very serious one. For the most part, faculty in our department decided to do open book examinations, but not to do questions that were easy to answer. That is, we know that our students are technologically savvy. They know much more than we do, and often they can share information very quickly and easily. We have had cases of plagiarism. I had one, in fact, and I referred my case to my head of the department. I referred my case to members of our university to see how best to handle it. We decided at this time to give 0 to the students in terms of the exam. It was an examination they took, so that they had 0 points on that, and with the notification that their names would be on a list, that they would have had acknowledgement that they had violated a university rule. And it's a very serious one, because we like to encourage our students to be as honest as they are and to use their talents to move ahead. So it's that valor that we recognize when they move ahead. I think the problem of cheating is a big one, and that's why a lot of times I try to produce assignments as well as examinations that are not repeatable, so that one person cannot answer by another person's answer. What do you think, by the way? Can I ask how you've handled it?
Thank you, Professor. We got comment from Dr. Bushra Ahmed. She was trying to approach us, but was having internet problem. She said, we are taking online classes since June. We have moderate strength in our classes. I am teaching 3 courses. Among them 2 are lab courses. We conducted midterm exam as well. Everything is very smooth, and I enjoyed this new experience of online teaching. Of course, for young generation, it's fun. But for professors who are in my age, this internet, online, all these things, these are little problem. Anyway, so this is time to conclude, I believe.